All right, this is a 2007 Honda Accord. I'm sure 2003 to 2007 probably has the same problem. I took my lock cylinder out thinking that might help get this glove box open. It did not. The lock itself is not the problem, so don't even waste your time. Even though it's easy to take out, there's like a little clip. It's not going to help. But just so you know, if you take that lock cylinder out and you say get yourself another glove box from the junkyard, you can always move your lock cylinder over to the new to the glove box from the junkyard if it has a different, obviously it's going to have a different lock cylinder from another car. So you can move your lock cylinder over, and then you'll be back in business. But in case you can't get the box to open to begin with, mine's already off and in my lap. So I'm going to show you what somebody else showed me on another video. Hopefully you can see it. You see that gap down there? You're going to be looking for a rod. Notice you don't see any rod there. That's the problem. I saw it and then I didn't see it, so I couldn't get a hold of it. But I hit it with the light the right way, and I was able to find it. So let me hold. Now you'll see I'm digging around behind it. I already cut a porthole. But you see that rod? If you pull that rod with pliers from right to left, it will unlatch the glove box. But until you fix the problem, the next time you close the glove box, it's going to lock again, and you won't be able to get it open unless you pull that rod. If the rod were to stay where it's at right now in this video, you wouldn't have no problem. You just grab it with pliers, but sometimes it drops down, and then you can't get a hold of it right away, especially when you get pulled over by the cops and have to give your license and registration. You don't want to be sitting there digging around with pliers, so it's best to keep that stuff somewhere else until you get this fixed. So I'm going to show you how what I did. I took the box off, and I cut some openings in the back to see if maybe I can fix this. If I can fix it, fine. If not, it is what it is, and I'll see if I can get myself a glove box from junkyard or whatever. I use this cheap little Dremel from Harbor Freight. As you can see, I broke the cutoff wheel, but for 10 or 11 bucks, it comes with tons of cutoff wheels, and just make sure you wear safety glasses, because the cutoff wheels are easy to break. But for 10 or 11 bucks, you can't go wrong. I tried using a drill bit to cut the back open. It works better with the cutoff wheel. Now I'm going to show you what I did on the back. I don't know why it's not really focusing. Hopefully it does eventually. All right, there's the rod. I'm gonna pan out. I apologize for the focusing. This is not the top of the line phone, obviously. So anyway, that rod right there is supposed to push against that bracket thing here, and move the cable down there. See? Not the cable, I'm sorry, but the rod. As you can see, the rod popped out of that little pinhole, and that little side clip thing's supposed to clip behind that rod and hold it into that pinhole. How it came out, I don't know. That happened before I bought this car. So let me see if I could get that back in there, and what, if any, difference it makes. Stand by. All right. I got it back in there. That's the way it's supposed to be. Now, ideally, when you pull the lever, that right there, see it moving? It should push this. Oh, by the way, pay attention when you cut. I don't know if you can guesstimate, if you do the same thing I do, how to avoid this area here, because I wasn't aware that it was actually screwed on to the black part. But it's impossible to separate the beige part from the black part, so you really have no choice. It's either do it this way or replace the whole thing. So the way it's here, I got the lock cylinder out. This thing in the up position would be locked, and this thing here pushed down you heard it click, would be the unlock position, I believe. But it doesn't seem to want to push this thing no matter what. So, you see the latch right there? Right now that's in the open position, so you can't really tell if pulling on the handle is going to unlatch the glove box because it's already in the latch position. Just like on a car door, it needs to be latched. Now you see I'm going to push this forward. Hold on, let me switch to flathead. Hold on. Oops, sorry. Anyway. I'm going to push this all the way forward until it latches. It's not that easy because I had to... Oh, crap. Just doing this to help anybody can help. I'm no professional photographer. Okay, you heard it click. So that would be the way it is when your glove box is locked, or not locked, but latched on the car, and then you can't open it. So let's see if this works. I'm gonna try to back up the camera. So I reconnected it. Let's see. There you go. Oddly enough, it doesn't seem like this thing is even moving that much, to be honest with you. But with that said, it doesn't appear that it needs to move that much. You would expect more of a fluid feeling because it feels like it's hitting nothing in the beginning. See, it's just floating in. It's just doing nothing really. But let me see something. There's a good amount of movement if you do a screwdriver. But obviously we're not going to be putting a screwdriver in here when we're out on the road. I'm just testing to see the tension on this thing because it, like I said, when I pull the handle, it doesn't seem like it's pushing that much pressure. It's not going that far at all. It's actually, I don't even know. There might still be something wrong with this thing because it could be because it's moving around. But it doesn't seem like there's that much movement. Alright, so on this thing here, up is definitely locked. You see back there, it's blocking the movement. And when I push it down, you see the gap that it created? That allows this to move. See it? So in actuality, that's all the movement you're going to get because that thing bottoms out. See it? It's bottoming out in that white clip. And that thing, it's not even pushing that much. So though you're pulling the hell out of this thing, the handle, it doesn't really make that lever move too much. How that thing down there popped out, I don't know, but that happens on car doors too. On the car door lock is very similar to that, to this setup, on at least on older cars. So with that said, let's just do one more try with this before I even dare put this thing back on the car, because then if I can't get it off again, I'm gonna be screwed. The main reason I'm out here in the rain in the dark is because this car has an airbag recall. And if I can't get the glove box open, that means neither can the dealer. And then if the dealer can't get the glove box open, how are they gonna do the airbags? You know, I'm at least 80% sure they might have to take the glove box off to unplug the airbag or whatever. I could be wrong, but whatever. That's for them to figure out, but I didn't want to get charged for them having to figure out how to open up the glove box for a free airbag recall. I don't want to pay shit. Anyway, so here we go. Let's try this again. I'm going to pull the lever. There you go. So obviously this is going to help somebody. Sorry the video's a little bit long, but there's no other videos this in depth in how to fix this on a permanent or at least semi-permanent basis, because who knows if that thing pops off again. But there's other videos on YouTube of other people with the same problem. Some of them were able to hook wire ties to that little rod and have a wire tie sticking out of where the handle's at and pull on the wire tie to get it to open. Something like that. But thank you to whoever put the video on YouTube that showed the rod to begin with, so I knew what to look for to grab. And I wasn't able to get a wire tie on there. It's really hard to get a wire tie to go in there and do a U-turn right back out and then tie it tight. That's pretty hard. So I figured, you know, what do I have to lose? You know, if I can't get it to work on a permanent basis, then I'm going to end up ordering another one anyway, or getting one from the junkyard or whatever. So it seems like it's working, and it doesn't look pretty, but who gives a shit? This car is 12 years old, and nobody's going to see this anyway. And there you go. Hope it helps you. Bye.